Hey everyone! I hope y'all are doing well today. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on this makeup look right here. This is my date night get ready with me. Me and my husband are going to go on a date for our anniversary. We've been married for 7 years. Wow. But you all will see this after our anniversary, so it's actually going to be a few days later than that. But if you guys want to see how I got this look, then please continue watching. Hello! So we're going to go ahead and get started. Say hello! Say hello! Say hi! Sit down. So we're going to be doing a date night get ready with me. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm unsure exactly what we're going to be doing today. I'm just going to kind of wing it. So without further ado, let's get started. Sit down. Let's go ahead and do our brows. Brows are done. So I'm going to go in with this shade here. And let's go ahead and get started. I did already prime the eyes with Pretty Fresh concealer. Just like that. Same thing for the other eye. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to get a fluffy brush. I'm just going to use this Sigma E10 brush, and I'm going to jump into this shade here. This shade. And I'm just going to blend that around the edges to make sure everything is blended nicely. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into this JH35, and I'm going to go in with this shade here, and I'm just going to put this on the outer part, almost where we laid that first shade down. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to jump back in with that fluffy brush and just make sure everything is blended. Okay, now I'm going to take this really small, this shader brush. It's an M432, and I'm going to dip into that same shade and the first shade. I'm just going to dip into both of those, and I'm going to just make a line. Like that. I think I'm going to have a black. There is no black in this palette. I'm just going to jump into the Jaclyn Hill palette, the original one, and dip into the black shade in the palette. And I'm just going to do the same thing that we just did with that those two browns. Just making like a liner with shadow. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to use this same brush, and I'm going to take back into those two shades that we used, the two darkest one in the 35O palette, and I'm just going to blend around the edges of that black just to soften it. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with that that blender brush that we use, and I'm just going to blend and make sure everything looks seamless. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to jump into I'm going to mix this shade and this shade together, and I'm just going to do it with my finger. And I'm just going to place that on the inner part. Okay. Now, back in with that blender brush, that blending brush, and just make sure that's all blended and looks nice. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with that shader brush again, and I'm just going to touch up where we may have lost a little bit of the product when we put the glitter on, or the shimmer shade. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit more of that, those two shades that we used on a JH40. And I'm just going to blend up around just to make this a little bit darker. Same thing for the other side. Okay, now back in with that blending brush again and just blend again. Just like that. I'm going to prime with Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Primer, and I'm just going to rub that in. Okay, now I'm going to be using the Beauty Blender foundation today in the shade 3.45N. This foundation is amazing. And I'm just going to be using it on the It Cosmetics complexion brush. And I'm just going, I poured it out, or like squirted it out on the thing. And now I'm just going to use my finger and dab it. Okay, and I'm just going to blend that out. Tell everyone hi. Say hi. Say my name is Athena. She is my little inside baby. We love her. We love her so much. Do we not? We do. Okay. Now for concealer, I'm going to be using... I'm just going to go in with Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand. I'm just going to use a sponge. This is the Haley sponge. Like I said in my last video, I am really enjoying this. I have to keep Athena in here with me because she likes to get into mischief and chew up everything. She is obsessed with my house shoes and she will not leave them alone. So I have to lock her in here with me when she's in the house. Sometimes we have her in her dog lot outside so she can get some fresh air. But for the most part, she stays inside with us. We have 3 other dogs out. We have 2 outside and I have a Chihuahua inside. She's the boss, guys. She is the boss. I'm going to add a little bit more concealer to this side here. I feel like I don't have enough there, like so. I'm going to set everything. First, I'm going to set underneath my eyes with some RCMA translucent powder. Guys, I've not used this powder in a minute. It is a fantastic powder, especially for baking. I'm just going to add this and let it bake. I'm just going to grab my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder and I'm just going to set the rest of the face. My powder is starting to fall apart. I hit pan on it quite a while ago, so she is close to being done for. Now for bronzer. Today I think I'm just going to use, I'm going to go with this Ulta bronzer today. I'm going to try to tuck my husband and going on top of the mountain today. so we can go take some pictures. Our anniversary was yesterday and we failed to get anything done. We just was super lazy yesterday. So he went back to work today. So I'm getting ready and hopefully I can get him to go take some pictures this evening. So fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Okay, for blush today, I'm going to be using Tarte in the shade Captivating. Putting that just on the apples of the cheeks. Okay, now I'm going to just use a stippling brush just to kind of diffuse that just a little. Now I'm going to take this same stippling brush and I'm just going to dust away this bake. Just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight, and I'm going to use the JH09 brush, and I'm going to be going in with Prosecco Pop today. This is from Jaclyn Hill's original palette with Becca. I think it was a Christmas edition, but you can get Prosecco Pop in an individual thing. So that's what I'm going to do. It says Prosecco Pop in it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use today. Love, love, love this highlighter. It is so good. The highlights that she created with Becca were amazing. And her highlights from her own line are amazing too. So definitely recommend Jaclyn Hill's highlights. Actually, I recommend about everything she has. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to finish up the bottom of the eyes. And I'm going to go in with this M433. And I'm just going to jump into that first shade we used, that like burgundy shade. And I'm just going to buff that right here from inner to outer. I got strangled, guys, on my own spit. I promise I do not have corona. I know it's not a joking matter. I'm not, but y'all, we gotta laugh at it somehow or another because this is getting absolutely ridiculous. I'm so ready for life to go back to normal. I'm getting just bored. I am a go type of person. I love to just do things, whether I love to shop, but I like to just get out and go look around. I'm not a stay-at-home person, so this has absolutely been a struggle for me. So now I'm going to go in with that darkest shade we used from the 35O palette, and I'm just going to keep that super tight to the lash line. I seen a meme the other day and it was like, so are we all just like not getting regular sick, or is just everything the corona now? And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, you know, yeah, like if you cough, people are looking at you like you're friggin' contagious. So I'm just assuming this is life now. This is life now, guys. Okay, back in with another brush, and I'm just going to get a little bit more of that burgundy shade, and I'm just going to buff that. Okay, I'm not going to use the black under here, but I am going to go in with CoverGirl in the shade Black Onyx. I love, love, love this liner. If you haven't noticed, I always have. This liner was my go-to. I used to use it in school back when like drawing your liner super thick was a thing. Like that's when I started using it, so I've been at it quite a bit. I've worn makeup since I was in 6th grade. Yeah, so I've been wearing makeup since I was in 6th grade. That's when I took the first interest in it, and my mom always like tried to teach me, but I always tried to be like my sister, and she would line her top of her lash line so thick that it looked like eyeshadow. So I thought that was cool, and that's how I wore mine. So this eyeliner I have been using for years, and it's so, so good. There's also a green, was it green lid or a green tube? I can't remember, but it was one of the two. Anyways, it was either a green lid, I think it was green tube with a black lid, I think is what it was. Was it by Revlon? Or it might have been by CoverGirl too, I'm not sure. But that was a good liner too. But this one's my go-to. I love it. Okay, I'm going to contour real quick, and I'm using Hoola. Here it is. Okay, now I'm just going from the angle from the top of the ear, corner of the mouth. Same old, guys. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to take it down the bridge of my nose, pinching the brush together, putting a little bit of this under my lip. So now I'm going to finish up the lips. I'm just going to go in with MAC Whirl. This is Smashbox in the shade Fair Game, I think is what it's called. Okay, now I'm going to quickly go ahead and put on some lashes, and I will be right back. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I added some lashes, and I used Chocolate Souffle by Crave Lashes. They're absolutely stunning. This was my first pair, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!